Hi everybody. I know I'm a minute early, so I'm just going to give everybody a couple minutes to join us. And I'm going to finish getting ready. Hi Lainey. You get her a treat. Thanks. Dad's getting you a treat. I don't have it up here. Daddy has it. Lainey's waiting for her treat as always, so she heard me say hi everybody and she thinks she's getting a treat. Alright, let's see here. I'm just getting you guys here up on my iPad like normal. Go get Daddy, he's going to give you your treat. Daddy has your treat today. Not Mom. You better go get it. I am so excited about today's project. I cannot wait. I started putting this thing together last night, and it's for my sister. So I was so excited. I kind of wanted to just finish it last night, but then today I was like, oh, I better wait. I have this video I gotta do. So I've been so excited. Let's see here. Okay. So, if you guys ever seen, let me see what time it is here real quick. Come on. My iPad's slow. It's so slow. Okay, I'm still a couple minutes early. Okay, so I have you guys on my touchpad. If you comment, hopefully I'll be able to get them on here. Sometimes they're like really, really slow. Hi, Becky. Aw, thank you. Yeah, this is my craft room. This is actually our upstairs. Our house is really tiny, and our upstairs is like a completely big open space. And so the living room's on one half, and then my crafting studio is on the other half. So it's kind of a nice area because my husband can be over there watching TV, and we have room over here to do my crafting. So it's nice. I lucked out. Let's see here. Hi Tara, hi Tammy. Hi Addie if you're watching. Hi Denise. Alright guys, so we can go ahead and get started because I am really excited about today's project. So excited. Alright, so if you guys ever seen, I'm going to move this out of my way. If you guys have ever seen the old, like, they remind me of like the barn, like, old wooden chairs. I did post a picture of it, and I was going to bring one up here for my video just to show you guys, and I forgot. So, but it is back on my Facebook in today's schedule. It's just like an old rickety wooden chair. I had a whole bunch of them. I brought them for like $3 at a garage sale, I think. And I wanted to do something with them now for years, and I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. So my husband and I, we were cutting up wood and everything to throw it on the fire the one night just to get rid of some old things. And I looked at these and I'm like, I can't just throw these away. I can't just cut them up and throw them away because that's the hoarder in me that I'm like, no, I need to keep them just in case. So my sister contacted me a while ago and she wanted a certain sign made. And so I am making a sign out of them. So what I did was I just took the top part of the chairs and my husband and I just nailed them together. So this is actually like the backing of them, and then this is the seat. So we just folded them together and attached two of the top of them together. All right, so it makes a really pretty sign. And I was gonna do that all in this video, but I'm like, I never did this before, and if I'm trying to like drill holes and put screws in and try to line everything up, it would take me a good like 2 hours to do the video. So I just figured I'd put it together last night, had my husband help me, and he's kind of camera shy anyway, so I don't think he would have came on the camera to help me. So we put it together last night. All right, and you can kind of see, this is one chair and then this is another. So this here's just the seats. They're pushed together, and this is the top, like where your headrest would be. Okay, so I just threw those two together and I thought they looked really cute. It is a pretty heavy sign. I'll flip it over so you guys can kind of see the backing of it, but you can tell where the chairs were actually made. So we just cut off the legs. All right, so my goal with this one, I did print off a sign on my Cricut, and it's a really cute sign, okay? It's going to be a little saying for a little boy with some antlers. Pretty cool, right? And I know the white antlers are hard to see, but you'll see that eventually when I put all this on there. So this was kind of like a Cricut project, but I just printed it off just so I could put them on here. I'm not doing the whole Cricut project with this. It would have been way too long of a video. All right, let me see here. Hi, Rhonda. Good afternoon. All right, guys. So with this chair, as you can see, if I can hold it up. Sorry, I gotta develop some muscles here. This thing's pretty heavy. If you can see, there are some certain like pieces in these chairs that, if you guys can see, there you go, that kind of just got like a little bit bent and bowed over time. So I actually took some off of my other chairs sitting down there, and I am going to just replace those real quick. And then I am actually going to do the whole outside of this, which is going to be the frame of the picture, which is going to be this part the whole way around. I'm going to paint that all white and then just put a little dusting of white on here along with the decal. All right, so that's what we're doing today, making a cute sign. All right, so I'm going to replace those little pieces of bowed wood in here just because, I mean, it looks really pretty, but for a sign and for the detail or decal to actually sit flat on it, I didn't want any problems with it being dipped down in and trying to cut it and all of that. So I'm just going to replace 2 of these, and then we will get started on painting. Now, I did wipe this whole thing down with a tack cloth yesterday, so it's nice and clean. There's no dirt or anything on it. And that's very important. I know I've went over that before with you guys. When you are painting something, try to use a tack cloth, especially if it's an older thing that's been sitting for a while, just because it does have so much dust on it. I actually get like the air compressor, blow them off if they are like, you know, if there's a lot of spots where dust can sit. And then I tack cloth it to get all the rest of it off, because tack cloths take all the dust, all the oils, everything off of it. And it just makes your paint look better. Alright, so I'm just replacing these little planks here. I should have got the drill, but that's okay. It's loud and annoying. Alright, so there's one plank, and you guys can see how bowed that is, and it's not flat at all anymore. It's just really bowed. This was the worst one. Alright, so I'm going to put that in here. And screw that back in. Hi, Amy. Hi, Laura. Lauren's my little sister. So it's awesome that she's watching this. She knew I was going to be making this today, which is exciting. Hopefully this will line up okay. I did try this earlier just to make sure it would fit, and it did. So just give me 1 second here. There we go. We got it. Alright, so I know I have quite a few people on here since I've started, so if you guys kind of missed my intro, this is just 2 old wooden chairs that I took, put the seats and the backings, I took the legs off and put them back to back, or not back to back, side by side, and made a really pretty wooden sign out of them. Okay, so I'll be refinishing that. I just didn't have the heart to throw them away. They were too pretty. And I was like, what can I do for these? And my sister contacted me. She's like, I need signs made. So I decided I'm going to do that today. All right. So there's that. And then this one here also is kind of bowed down in. So I am going to replace this one as well. If you guys are refinishing anything at home and you have any questions, this is a good time to ask me on anything that you might need to know. Today's kind of just like a paint project. And I don't know if you guys, I'll go over this at the end of this video too, but I am starting, because I've had so many people contact me just through comments or through messaging, if I had like a schedule of when and what I was doing, and I do. I post it every week. I try to do it like a day before or whatever. It just depends on my timing. But this screw is like really stuck in here. But I do post a schedule with all of my stuff, what I'm doing for that week, and all the supplies you'll need if you're making it with me, or if it's something that you can make with me. And I am going to be starting an email list for that. So if you guys go onto my Facebook feed and I think it's like the first post, I think I have it pinned at the top today. If you look at that, you can sign up for my weekly email. So that'll, all that means is you're just going to get my schedule, my weekly schedule, and supply list sent to your email every week. That way you guys have it. So if you're interested in that, that is what I'm going to be doing now. Mind you, I will try to keep up on it as much as I can, because once I'm back to work full-time, I won't be doing like 4 videos a week. I'll probably be doing maybe 2 or 3, just because of my work schedule. I work full-time too. So, but I'll try to keep you guys in the loop as much as possible. At least those emails will help you to know what I'm going to be doing and when. This is just not coming loose. I might have to go down and get my cordless real quick. I thought for sure this would come out, but it's not. Let me see. Let me try one more time. Yeah, it's definitely stuck in it. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to run down and get my cordless drill, and we'll take this screw out. Give me 1 minute. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Alright, let me see if this will work. Fingers crossed, right? I think this screw is really in there. Thing is just not coming out. And of course it's the only one I didn't try yesterday. Right? That would happen to me. Let me see. I got this stuck in there. I might just have to keep this board, unfortunately, because that is like really in there. Let me see if this will help. I don't really want to break the underneath of this. Okay, let me try one more thing. We'll figure it out how to fix it. I have my handy little toolbox over here that I always keep. Let's see. I'm missing some comments. Hi, Teresa. Hi, April. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like watching. Let's see. Hi, Eileen. Oh, thank you. Oh, I would like to live in Arizona. That would be nice. If I ever move there, I'll let you know. Alright, guys, so I'm just going to kind of find that little piece here. I'm going to try to just pound it out. Sorry, loud noises, I know. I'm trying to do is I don't want to hit it too hard because I don't want to ruin where that screw is. All right, it's coming out. This thing is tough. These chairs were built right, let me tell you. There we go, we got it. Okay, so I'm just going to pound this screw out here. Actually, I probably need a new one because this one's really bad. I don't know if I have any extras to match though. Let me double check over here. I think I have some laying. Oh, I do. Awesome. I saved some of them from yesterday when I took the other 2 chairs apart just in case something like this would happen. So, alright, so now that we got that plank off, the stubborn one, of course, there's always one, right? I'm going to put the new one in here, hoping it lines up okay. Let's see here. Let me try it this way. There we go. That looks good. Good. Okay. So now I'm just going to put these screws in there. And I'm just going to use the hand screwdriver here. Maybe. This little screwdriver is from the Dollar Tree. Can you believe this? I love this thing. I know I say this like every video, but this thing is so cool. It comes with like a little open compartment and it has all the little things in there, and it's so cool. It's so handy. And a couple of them are missing. So my husband must have been using this the other day because there are a couple attachments missing. And I can be messy too. I'm not saying that I'm not, but I know for sure I had all the attachments in here. Alright, so that looks good there. That is all back together. I just want to make sure it's in there really good. I don't want anything falling apart here. Okay, that looks a lot better. No more bowed wood there. That's all kind of straight now. Okay, nothing's riveted or bowed. So I'm going to just clean up my little mess here that I have from doing that. Alright, so now on to the next step. We are going to paint the whole frame of this, which is like the headrests, okay? And then the little arms here that we have on the sides. I'm going to paint that all white, leaving this center like it is, because I love this grayish color of this wood that is on here. And then I am going to just go over and kind of just brush a tiny bit of like white on top of it, just so it brings out the black words and the white decal that I'm putting on there, okay? So I am using a chip brush today. And like always, if you guys watch my videos, I use Art Minds paint. I really like their paint. And I'll be using Art Minds wax as well, okay? Since this is like a bigger project, it's all wood and a lot of paint, I am going to wax it. And it just because it is going to somebody else, it's not just mine. So I want to make sure it's done right and correct. Oops. I'm going to open the paint instead of the wax. Alright, so I'm going to use a chip brush, okay, and as many of you know, this is what I use mostly all the time. Somebody asked me what the difference between a chip brush and a regular brush was. I will come up close and I'll show you guys today. If that viewer's viewing, this is the difference, okay. This is the chip brush, and as you can see, it's not soft. It's kind of rough, okay, and kind of like jaggedy, I guess is how you would explain it, kind of coarse. And then the regular paintbrushes are nice and smooth, okay? So there is a difference. The chip brush kind of breaks up your paint and just kind of puts a smooth kind of like glaze on it, where the paintbrush does like a big, I don't want to say clump of paint because that's not what I'm trying to say, but like it puts it on a little bit thicker, okay? So there is a difference, as you can see, all right? Okay, guys. So I am going to do a pretty heavy coat here on the frame of it is what I'm calling it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start that. And I could use a regular paintbrush for this too, but I'm just using a chip brush because I want that same texture the whole way through on this sign. Making sure I'm getting all the edges and everything, okay? And just because I like to paint the frame white, just so the sign sticks out a little bit more. It has a border on it. It's not just this plain big chunk of wood with some words on it. It's actually really cute and really pretty. So that's why I decided to do the white around it. And I'm not going to force it. If the paint doesn't want to cover a spot, I'm going to let it. I'm just going to make sure it's on there pretty even. That way it kind of gives it the rustic feel here. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. It's kind of heavy, so to bring it any closer and hold it, it would be a struggle for me. All right. Looks really pretty. I'm making sure I get all the edges there. Perfect. So if you guys see these chairs anywhere, these are a good one to buy if you want to make a sign. You could probably find them at a lot of auctions, or even if your spring cleanup's coming up, I'm sure you'll be able to find them, like especially if like it's an older home and an older couple maybe doesn't live there anymore. These are a good find for that. Like I said, I got mine at a garage sale. They wanted $3 for like 6 of them. So I got a good buy on those. And it's been years ago that I got these. Alright, so there's that piece, and I'm just going to keep going around here. I'll move this so you guys can see. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. Alright, let me catch up on some comments here, because I know you guys are commenting. Alright, let's see. Tammy, yeah, he went mushroom hunting. My husband is mushroom hunting right now. So, I don't know. I just let him, whatever. He was like, I'm gonna go mushroom hunting, babe. I'm like, okay. Whatever that means. Let's see. Yeah, Laura, it was. The screw was stripped. It was like not coming out at all. It was a pain. Hi, Connie. Oh man, 120 degrees. Oh, I don't know, April. I might need some air conditioner if I'm coming out there. Hi, Brenda. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just go on here with my border. Got a little bit of white paint on there, but it's okay because we're gonna hit that with a little bit of white paint anyway. So just leaving that coat on there, and I'm going to actually cover these two just because they don't match exactly the middle of this, and I want the middle of it to stand out really well too. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going with that. And I am using a thicker coat here, even though I am using a chip brush. And I'm kind of just using that paint and spreading it. I mean, chalk paint is pretty, it goes a long way. So just out of that one little dip, I got this whole entire arm of this chair done here. It's moving into this corner. Looks good. Just making sure it's a smooth coat. I don't want brush marks going this way and then that way, so I'm just kind of going over here and making it all go the same way. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm going to move my touchpad out of the way just a little bit so you guys can see, and move this down. Alright, so now I'm going to continue with this here, and then I will go back and get all the sides in a little bit. I'm going to do the front of this first. I noticed if I don't keep like a organized pattern here, I miss something, so I don't want to miss something on a video. So I'm just going to keep going here. Making sure to get those inside edges there. We don't want to miss those. And I love chalk paint because you can be as sloppy as you want and it still looks great, no matter what. Okay, it's hard to mess up. There we go. I'm so excited to have this finished today. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I actually started working on this last night. We put it together. We took it outside, cut the chairs, and put this together. And I just was like, I texted my sister, and I was like, I have to wait until tomorrow to work on your sign, and it's killing me. Like, I just want to finish it. Like, it looks so pretty, and it's funny. Once you get an idea in your head, you're just like, I want to do it, and I want to do it now. Like, I want to finish it. I want to get it done. I want it to look nice. And it's so hard for me sometimes to hold back until my video days to get on here to do it. Especially this one. Alright. Let's see here. I'm just going to go down this side here. Same way as I did the other one. I'm just going to do a light coat real quick and then go back and kind of just spread that paint around a little bit more. So this will make the inside of this stand out really well. It's just giving it that border. And it'll bring out the words on the decals a lot better too. Without all this white paint around it, I think it would just kind of look kind of dull. So it's why we decided to do that. So this is kind of one of those projects that is an example of you can turn anything into anything type of thing. I mean, who would have thought 2 old wooden chairs that were probably going to be firewood would make something like this cool, right? So this is my reason. When my husband's like, why do you need that? Or we don't need to pick that up during spring cleanup. And then I just show him a picture of something like this. And I'm like, remember those 2 old chairs? Remember those? That's why. So this year, my husband sent our friends and I on one text message. He sent us a picture of a pile of garbage out for spring cleanup already around Johnstown, and I was just like, yes, it's like Christmas. My Christmas is here. So if you live in Johnstown or Wimber or Westmont or anywhere around here, even Evansburg area, you'll see me going around in a big red truck picking up your trash. So put something out good for me this year. Put like something really nice out for me. Or really junky. I'll take the junky stuff too. I'll take pretty much anything. The worst job for me would probably be a garbage man or a garbage lady, because I would probably want to take everything home with me, and that's sad. That's one job that would probably be horrible for me to have. I'd be like, but I could take this home and make something out of it. Alright. So I'm just touching up here close to my edges of the middle of this. I didn't get too close on this side, so I'm just going to go back and do that. That looks good. And I'm not a fan of masking, so I kind of just go with it. I don't like masking stuff off. And I'm running really low on my white paint, so I really need to order some either from Michael's or somewhere, because I'm running out pretty badly over here. Alright. Good. Alright, so I'm just making sure I'm doing everything the same on each side here. Making sure I'm getting everything covered. Alright, so that's kind of what the front of it looks like now that we did the border. I think it's going to make it stand out a lot better. I think it looks really pretty. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I am going to actually, I'm going to go ahead and brush the inside of this a little bit more. Okay, so I want to keep most of this gray color. However, I want it to match the frame too. You don't want something like modern on the outside and then rustic on the inside. It doesn't look good, okay? So what I'm going to do is just get a tiny, tiny bit of white paint, and I'm just going to kind of just brush a little bit, make that white kind of blend into this now. So just a tiny bit on my brush, and I'm just dabbing it. I'm not doing like a thick coat here. I want kind of as little as possible. Alright, and I'm just going to go with the wood grain, because I don't want to go this way, because if I go this way, you're having the paint go against all the little plaques of wood, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to go with the wood grain this way. Alright, and I'm just going to start here at one end, lightly. And I'm just going to brush that on there, and I'll tilt this towards you guys so you guys can kind of see a little bit better. So all I'm doing pretty much is highlighting this wood, which I'm keeping that grayish color underneath, but I'm just highlighting it and making it match the outside of it a little bit better. And two of those planks were a little darker, the ones that I replaced, so this will kind of make them blend in a little bit more also. So just real tiny, because the antler decal that I'm putting on here is actually white, so I don't want to paint this whole background white. That's why I'm kind of just lightly brushing it on. I want that to still stand out really, really well. And it's amazing what that little bit of white paint is doing on here. It's crazy, the difference. Just gonna make sure those edges are kind of the same. And I'm going to highlight each plank here so you can see, so they stand out. Where that wood's sticking up, it makes a really pretty look. All right, so you can kind of tell the difference already. That is bringing that white into here and keeping that wood underneath. So that's what the look that I wanted. That way when the decal's on there, the decal is white and black. There's white antlers, and then I'm putting black words over top. So I wanted something that was going to show both. So if I painted this all white like I did the frame, the antlers would have blended in. And if I would have painted it or not painted it at all with the white in the middle, the black letters kind of would have blended in with the darker wood. So that's why I decided to kind of just do the white glazed over it. So just getting a tiny bit more paint here. And I'm just going to keep going on the other side of this now. Halfway there. And I'm barely using any pressure, just a tiny bit, and hardly any paint. I'd rather do less paint and more brushing than a lot of paint and a lot of sanding, okay? Because if you put too much on, there is a way to fix it, but you would just have to sand it down a little bit just to get that wood to show through again, and that's a lot of work. And some of that, sometimes I do like that look a little bit better, but for this, there's no reason to do that. Since the wood is already so coarse, like it's not real smooth, the white paint is just highlighting already. So there's no reason to really smooth it with sandpaper or anything after this. I'm just going to continue that. It's making it look a lot lighter too, which is what I like. That way it's not so dark and kind of dreary looking. And this is for a baby boy, so I didn't want to paint anything too girly either using white. So I wanted to keep a lot of the browns and grays with it. Good. It's amazing what a little bit of paint can do. So after this, I am going to go onto my sides here, and I'll show you guys in a minute what I mean. But we had to Craig jig, and if you know what Craig jigs are, they're just a little tool that actually helps you put a screw in sideways instead of straight down. So we had to do that to the top and bottom to hold these chairs together on the outside. So I had to use a little bit of filler, wood putty and stuff just to cover those holes up and to seal them, to help hold it. So I need to just sand those just a tiny bit, and I will do that here next, okay? Which I should have done in the beginning, but I was too excited to paint. And I think it'll be fine because the chalk paint dries pretty quickly. Almost done. This video, I'm just going to kind of go over what we're doing. We're doing the chair. I did video 1 first, and now this is video 2. Okay, just to finish this up, my phone decided to kind of just go crazy on me. So I'm going to turn you guys that way. Do my lighting a little bit better. Okay. Yes, Amy. Let's pray that it works, please. All right, just so you guys can see everything, I think we're good. Yeah. All right, awesome. Okay, I'm not going to touch it anymore. Hopefully it's fine. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Alright, so right now, what I did was just did the coat on, did the border, and did the middle coat, just the glaze of white to blend everything in there. And this is 2 chairs, of course, put together like I was going over before. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just sand down. If you guys look right in here, I had the putty and I filled those screw holes in there. So I just need to take a piece of sandpaper and go over this, smooth it. I should have done this first, but I got too excited and started painting. So the paint is all dry now, so it shouldn't be any issue. There shouldn't be any dust or anything in it after. Alright, so I'm just going to tear a piece of sandpaper off. I'm using 120. It's a light grit, okay? And I'm just going to fold that, and I'm going to lightly, it's not going to be a lot of sanding, really lightly. I'm just smoothing that out so we don't have a bumble or anything when I'm painting it. Okay, and I'm just holding that so all that dust doesn't get on the paint that I just painted. Looks good. All right. Perfect. Okay, so that's nice and smooth now. You won't see it underneath the paint once the paint is on it. So I'm just going to make sure that's dusted off really well. I don't know what happened to my tack cloth. I had like half of one downstairs yesterday, so I'm just going to wipe this off with this, even though it's kind of against my rule with no tack cloth. Alright. Okay. So that's good. If you guys are using wood filler or any type of putty like this, I let it dry for at least 24 hours. I didn't this time because I did this last night, but it's dry, so we're good. So I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side here. And this is where I use my Craig jig, like I said. So the nails and this, or the screws actually go through this piece of wood into that. So it goes sideways instead of straight down. And that's just to hold that wood together. So I'm just sanding that, making sure it's nice and flat for the paint. You don't want to see that underneath your paint. After it's painted, you won't even know it's there. And that's just so you don't see the holes. Because who really wants a sign with 2 gaping holes on the bottom and top, right? Alright, so that looks pretty good. Just going to take my towel here and clean this off. Good. That looks good. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to paint the edges of this then, okay? So I'm going to hold this up. Make sure there's no dust. I'll wipe it off before I do both sides. Okay? And I'm going to get my paint. So this is still some of the border, the frame, whatever you want to call it. So I do want to do a heavier coat of that white paint on there. And that's just blending that frame into the sides here. So just like I did on the front of it, just running that paint right over. If you see spots you don't like after this, you can go back with a piece of sandpaper and remove some of the paint if you don't like it. But I do want to keep this pretty thick across here just so I can cover up the spot that I used the wood filler on. So it blends in really well. Plus it's the frame, so I want it to stick out being all white. And I turned my touchpad off like I said, so I don't see anything that you guys are commenting right now, so I'll come up in a couple minutes after I have these sides done and I'll look through the comments real quick. Just in case you guys have some questions or anything, I'll answer them for you. Alright, looks pretty good there. Excellent. Alright, so that looks pretty nice. You can't see where I have that wood putty anymore. Paint's right over top of it. Now if you're doing like the glazed look like I did on the front of it in the middle of the sign, you don't want to use that wood putty unless it's a really tiny spot, because more than likely you're going to see that through that little bit of a glazed paint look that you put on there. Okay, so I'm just going to get these edges real quick. And I'm not going to paint the back side of this because it's going to be on a wall and I don't want it to rub against the wall and let paint on the wall. So I'm not painting the back. I'm just going to let it how it is. You're not going to see it anyway. This is the back side, okay? All right. So that looks pretty good. All right, the bottom's painted. I'm just going to paint right in here now, this side, okay, while that side's drying. So I'm just painting right in here, carrying that thick coat the whole way over here to the sides, making sure that it's covered. And I'm going to kind of just extend that a little bit to the back just because this part here won't be touching the wall too much, and so you don't see it if you're looking at the sign from this way. All right. Perfect. Making sure to get those little ends there. Okay. Looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to flip it around. And I like this sign. It's nice to carry. It has like the little spots here. It's perfect. Feels like I'm carrying a ladder. All right, and same thing on this side. Okay, I'm just going to go around. It's just easier for me to paint from here. All right, so I'm going to turn that just a little bit. Thick coat here. Just like I did the other side. And if you're just joining me, I am using the chalk paint with the chip brushes. My favorite things to use. And I can't wait until Michael's opens back up because I'm running low on paint and I'm having withdrawals. Alright, so there's that side. This side is already dry. Alright, so I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to go ahead, oh, that hit my ceiling. My husband probably would have killed me if I hit my ceiling. We just put a new ceiling in here. All right, so the same side, or same thing with this side. I'm going to go ahead and just do a pretty heavy coat of white chalk paint on that. Good. It's looking awesome. I'm so excited. My little sister's probably excited for this. I can't wait to see it hanging where it needs to be hung. I'm excited. Okay, there we go. Blending that little bit of putty that I had on here. Just blending that in really well. Can't even tell that it's there. Okay, I'm just going to finish the rest of this here on this side. So the next step of this will be to, after I have it all painted, will be to put the decal on it, which I did print it off on my Cricut. But if you're making anything like this, the Dollar Tree has a lot of cute vinyls there, and I'm sure like any crafting website or store has them too. So if you don't have a Cricut and you want to make a sign like this, you can buy the vinyl decals pretty much anywhere, and I'm sure you can get pretty much anything on them nowadays. If you go into Amazon, I know there's some people who sell them, so you can get like design your own and do it that way as well. Okay, so there you go. It looks really pretty. I love it. Kind of reminds me of the barn door look. I like it. Alright, so I'm going to set this down, and if you guys look really closely, there's still right in here where I need to get. Okay, so I'm going to grab a tiny chip brush if I can find one. Alright, so I have a mini chip brush here, and I'm just going to get in there and just kind of do a little dusting just so it matches. It does not have to be perfect because it's the inside of there. You're not going to really see it. I just don't want it to stand out so you do see it. So I'm just going to kind of blend it in. My paint can's getting a little close to the end of the table. I better move it. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of get inside of there and brush a little bit, just so it's not all wood on the inside that you're seeing. And I could have painted that before I put it together, but it was going to be too hard for me to do that before I went live. Alright. Just blending that in. awesome. That looks a lot better on both sides there and right in here. I don't want this showing. Perfect. You guys can probably see this a little bit better on this side here now that I'm painting this. So if you weren't quite sure what I meant, I'm just getting the inside of these just so it's not all wood sticking out. That looks better. And that looks better. Back again like the 8th time. Ugh. Okay, so all this is dry. It looks really good. All right, so now we are ready to put the decals on, which is the antlers and the lettering. Okay, so I need a piece of transfer paper that's big enough to put these both on. I'm going to grab that. Those I did make with my Cricut, so they are Cricut made. Okay. All right, let me get some transfer paper. Fingers crossed that my video keeps working until the end of this. I never usually have problems. I've only had problems one other time, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. I don't know if somebody's messing with powers or what. All right, I'm going to cut that. Good. Okay, so this is my transfer paper. This is what I need to put my decals on correctly. If you watch my Cricut videos, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just put this down. Okay, and this is my antlers. I just need a piece of transfer paper. I'm going to use it for both, so I'm going to cut it longer for this one. Okay. Put that down, make sure it's big enough here to cover that whole thing. And I'm just going to cut this. So if you guys ever put decals on something, this is a good video to watch if you're not quite sure how to do it. You'll need the decals themselves, unless they come with transfer paper, and then a piece of transfer paper, okay, if they don't. So you just get that piece of transfer paper. It's a clear paper, and it does literally transfer your image. So I'm going to just tear that off of there, put that to the side, because I'm going to reuse this. This can be reused quite a few times, okay? I'm going to put this down. I want to stick my antlers on first, and then I want to put the words over top of them, okay? So I'm going to make sure my antlers are nice and clean, that there's nothing stuck on them, okay? Looks good. I'm going to put this over top of my antlers, okay? Right over top. Make sure it's all covered. I'm going to grab my little squeegee. I'm going to just squeegee that image onto there, onto the transfer paper. Now this is removable vinyl, the vinyl that I'm using today, just because, you know, if she wants to, now this will stay on for a long time, but if she wants to change the sign or change the saying on the sign, she can do that at any time. She just needs to peel it off. It might be a little hard to get off, but it'll at least come off. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that. So I got my antlers. It should be stuck on there. So I know white and white, it's hard to see. And then I'm going to just peel off the backing of my antlers. Okay, and I'm just making sure. This might be a struggle because this is a pretty big piece and I only have 2 hands. All right, so there we go. Just to start that, I'm just going to peel where my antlers are. I'm going to actually set this down. Sorry guys, it's too hard for me to hold and peel until I get it started at least. All right. I'm just making sure those all stick on there. After I have this on the transfer vinyl, you'll be able to see them a lot better. And this is just taking the backing off of that antler decal. All right, so there's the little antlers. Aren't those cute? They're so cute. All right, so now I need to place this in the middle of here. I'm just going to eyeball it. It's pretty easy to eyeball it because of the screws and the different planks on this, so it kind of makes it a little bit easier for me. I don't have to measure and find the exact middle. I'm just going off of what the planks are. So it looks pretty good there. I'm concentrating, sorry. All right. And like I said, this is not permanent. So if I need to take it off, I can take it off and redo it. All right, looks pretty good. So I have that on there. This is going to be backwards to you guys just because I need to kind of see what I'm doing. But that's what it looks like. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and use my squeegee. Squeegee that on there. Make sure it's on there really good. being careful because my boards are not exactly even. It's not like it's a completely flat surface. So I will have to do a little bit of tweaking with that as well. All right, looks good. I'm just gonna lightly peel this off of here. My decal is gonna stay on there. Like I said, this is gonna be a little harder than putting it on a normal flat surface because you do have all the ridges of all the different boards here. I'm hoping it stays on. We're gonna find out. Okay. Looks like it's staying, so that's good. I might even put a clear coat on this. I don't know. We'll see. Because of the boards being so rough, it might need it. Or not. It's actually sticking on there pretty well. So I'm just going to take my time and go through this. I keep looking up. I hope my camera, every once in a while it hits me like, oh my goodness, is my camera still going? If not, I'm just going to be sitting here talking to myself. Alright, so I'm just kind of holding that down as I'm peeling it off here. And it's sticking pretty well, which is good. Sometimes on the older wood that's so coarse and not smooth and it has so many ridges and pores, sometimes the vinyls don't stick very well. And sometimes you have to use a adhesive or clear coat over them. So I was hoping that it stuck, and it is sticking today, which is good. That's my worry. And I couldn't really test it because if I tested it, I wouldn't be able to do the video. Alright, so that looks good. I'm smoothing it out here. Getting it in the creases of where that is. So after I take this off, there are creases. So what I'm going to do is get my X-Acto knife and just cut and then tuck that vinyl into there. So it's not bubbled out on where those creases of the chair are. I don't want that. So I'm just going to kind of cut those edges. Okay. And this side's going a little bit easier. It's not coming off as easy. All right. Good. Almost done. And I will come over and read your guys' comments here in a second. As long as my phone keeps up. So I will go back because I can't see everybody's comment that they posted on the last 2 videos when I went live with this thing. So I will go back later on after I'm done with all this and I'll read everybody's comments and get back to you. It might take me like an hour, but I'll get back to everybody. All right, there's that. Okay, perfect. So there's my transfer paper, and as you can see, it's still really sticky, so I'll be able to use this for that and many times after this. I use it until it's not sticky anymore. All right, so let me come over, read some comments, and then I will use my X-Acto knife to just go over and tuck some of this decal in, okay? Alrighty, let me see. Yes, Teresa, oopsie. I don't know how many times the video is going to go out on me. Alright, let's see. Transfer paper at Michael's. Yes, the transfer paper, Denise, my husband got it for me online. He got me it in like bulk. It came in like a huge roll, and as you can see, I only have a little bit of that huge roll left because I use it all the time. But that thing got me through all my wedding projects and everything. You can buy it online. You can buy it at Michael's. Keep in mind, if you are buying Cricut materials, you cannot use the coupons on them. They don't allow you to. So if they have an off-brand, you can at least use a coupon and it should work the same. Okay, you might be able to get it online cheaper. Thank you, Tina. Hi, Rita. Welcome. Hi, Debbie. Amazon. My husband said Amazon. Okay, so I'm guessing he got the contact paper, transfer paper from Amazon. Okay. Alright guys, so I'm going to get back to this project. Okay, keep commenting. I'll keep coming over and looking. Hopefully the video stays on. Alright, so I'm going to get my X-Acto knife. And I'm going to just cut where those lines are. I'm just cutting my vinyl and tucking it in. So it doesn't want to come off. It's just getting tucked down in so you can see the different wooden planks still. Good. So I'm just just going to squeegee that on there. That looks a lot better. It's just a lot smoother cut, and it's shaping to the wood a little bit better. So perfect. Grab my X-Acto knife. I threw it underneath here. So I'm just running it right across that board, making it a nice cut. I want it nice and smooth. And just tucking it in. And I'll do the same thing with the lettering as well. Perfect. Making sure that's going to stick on there really, really well, which it looks like it is. I don't see any issues with it. Good, good. I'm just making sure my squeegee is clean because I don't want to get any dirt on this vinyl. It's white. You'll see it. Perfect. It's going to keep going. I'm just doing this per layer. That way I'm not messing up or tearing anything. I could have put the letters on and then just did it all at once, but I want to make sure it's done right. So I'm just taking my good old time here, making sure that it's all in those creases and going to stay in. Looks good. And it kind of looks nicer this way because it kind of goes with the wood, so I'm glad I decided to do this way. So if you guys are doing something like this, definitely cut where you need it to be cut. Each one of the wood planks, it looks just a lot nicer and cleaner. It doesn't bubble up. Okay, almost done, guys. Hang in there. Okay, alright, so that's my last little plank there that I needed to do. Smoothing everything out, looks awesome. Alright, so I'll kind of bring this closer to you guys just so you can kind of see what I did. And just give me 1 second, I'm walking around my table. Alright, so if you look closely here, okay, you can see where I cut each of that little bit of vinyl that was going in between there, just to kind of tuck it in there. Right here, there's a good one. There we go. So that just needs tucked in there. That way it's in there, it's not bubbled up or going over and under, and it's just smooth now. Okay, it's really smooth. So that's why I did it that way. All right, so I'm going to go back over. I just kind of wanted to show you up close what I was doing. But that way it's actually tucked into those little, in between those woods, and it's giving it that plank look the whole way down. Okay, you can see it really well on this side. Okay, you can see those lines. All right, so what I'm going to do is take it back over and put the words on it now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, grab my letters, and I'm going to actually move this up on the table because I don't want to peel off what I just put on there. That would be terrible. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of scoot that up for a second, get it out of my way. My table's a little messy here. So I'm going to fold this up for a second. Just bear with me. I'm going to roll this back. I just don't want to get that all over my vinyl. All right. So I'm going to just set my vinyl here down. Okay, just like I did before. And I'm going to get my transfer paper again. I'm going to put it straight down on there. Does not have to be perfect, doesn't have to be centered, it doesn't matter. And where did my squeegee go? Let's see. I lost it. It's probably rolled up in here. Ah, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to just squeegee that on there because I want it to stick to the transfer paper now, just like I did the antlers. All right, perfect, good. Just making sure they're all on there because I don't want to have to go back and fix a mistake. And I'm just going to peel this off of there. Nice and easy. Sometimes you just have to get your finger and kind of start them, hold them on there and start it. It just depends on how well they're clung onto there. And it depends on how strong your transfer paper is too. This one was used once already, so it's not at its strongest. And plus, because of the wood being so coarse, it kind of pulled some of the extra, you know, stuff that the dust and stuff that was probably down in the wood creases that I couldn't get out. Alright, so there's that. I'm just going to keep pulling here. And it should just slowly come off. Oops, ripped my A. Which is fine, you're not even going to be able to tell. Alright. I'm struggling. Alright, so that looks good. There's just so many lines and they're bigger letters, so this might take me a second or two. I'm working as fast as I can, but I don't want to ruin or rip anything. So just be patient. Perfect. It's funny because I feel like the littler, which I know it sounds crazy, but the littler words and stuff, I feel like they stick better because it's not as big of an area for the transfer paper to stick to it. So I feel like they work better than the bigger words and bigger logos. Alright, smooth that on there a little bit better. Oh, jeez, oh man, I'm struggling. My video's still up. Okay. Forgot about my video again for a second. My panic mode sets into like, oh my gosh, are they still seeing me? Or am I talking to myself again? I've done that quite a few times. Where the video goes out and it like takes me a couple minutes to realize you guys are gone off of my screen, and I'm just kind of going along with my project, acting like I'm still talking to you guys. Done it quite a few times. Alright. Especially today. Come on. These letters are extremely... Come on. You're being rough today. Okay, there we go. And I'm thinking it's just because my transfer paper is weak all of a sudden, because I used it for the first time, and the wood and stuff kind of just really did a number on it. Okay. Come on. Almost halfway done with this. A little over, I should say. Alright, I'm going to cut this. If I can find my scissors. It's usually not this difficult, I promise. They're just really sticking on there today. Just going to cut off the excess just so it's easier for me to get underneath these letters on this side. My W was kind of getting turned on me there, so I wanted to flatten it back out before I forgot about it. This is just not going the way that it normally does for me right now. You guys saw how it's easy the antlers came off. And then this here's just fighting me every step of the way. I'm not quite sure why. These must be like super sticky letters or something. Jeez, oh man. There we go. Okay, 5 hours later, after it took this lady to get all this stuff off of off of this just to finish the project. If I knew it was going to be like this, I would have done it and had it on transfer paper and ready to go. Usually it's not this hard. So I don't know if it's me today or if I'm having an effect on all this stuff going on. Between the phone giving out on me and this, I don't know, you guys. I might be jinxed today. Usually it's not this hard. Alright. I just want to rip this off and be like, I'm done. I don't think I can throw a mini tantrum on live video. I don't think that would be... I think that might be frowned upon. I don't think you guys would come back on here and watch me if I threw it. Although it might be one of my videos that goes viral just because it makes fun of me, right? Maybe I should try it. I might get more likes and followers that way. It'd be like the headline, like crazy crafting lady goes nuts, throws tantrum on Cricut vinyl. I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna pull my hair out. Okay, there we go. Now, finally, it's letting go a little bit. I'm glad this isn't one of my like DIY Cricut videos, because they would probably be laughing at me right now. They'd be like, why is this lady trying to teach me anything? She can't even get the vinyl off the paper. Alright. This is a new tube of vinyl, black vinyl, so I'm wondering if it's not something with that. Not that I'm blaming it on that, it could just be me, but I never had this much trouble getting vinyl off of paper before. And it's not permanent either, so I'm not quite sure what's going on with it. Alright. I'm just going to keep squeegeeing and peeling. Hopefully it works. I need some music playing in the background over here since it's taking me forever. I could have like a, what's those like couple minutes called in between like a baseball game or whatever. The halftime show. I just need to go to my halftime show right now. Give you guys a break. Where's Lainey at? Lainey needs to come over here and do a halftime show for you guys. Alright. So that side came off a little bit easier. Almost done, guys. Sorry. If I would have known this was going to take this long to get vinyl off of here, I would have done it yesterday. But this is like my first time that I had problems with this. This is nuts. Okay. God's testing my patience today. I think that's what's going on. He's like, let's see how far I can push her today. Hopefully I get an A. Alright, my last letter S is sticking on here, so as soon as I get that one filled off, we are good to go. Okay. There we go. Woohoo! Finally! Jeez, took like half my video up. Okay. So there is my letters and everything on that transfer paper. I'm going to go ahead and move my sign back down and finish it, okay? So I'm just going to leave that tucked under there. Just because it does have some sanding stuff on. So hopefully you guys can still see this. Okay. So I'm going to grab my vinyl and I'm just going to make sure this is straight. Like I said, I was kind of going off the screws and the planks, so it kind of helps me center everything. Alright. So, I have this, and I just need to kind of center where I want it to be here. All the words are centered, so it should go pretty easily, but, you know, I thought the last part should go pretty easily, too. Alright, let me see here. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that looks good right there. Looks awesome. I think everything's pretty lined up. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of press that down on there. Okay, I'm going to get my squeegee. I'm going to squeegee all those on there, making sure that it's sticking really well. Alright, because this is going to be a little harder like it was, you know, on the transfer paper to take the transfer paper off and everything as well, okay? But I think it should go pretty smoothly. Now just make sure those are sticking on there. The words seem to be stickier than the transfer paper, so fingers crossed that it's easier to take the transfer paper off than it was to get the words on the transfer paper. Just making sure that's on there really well. All right, so I'm just gonna start at one end here. I don't want to make a mess, so I'm just starting at one end and I'm peeling. And they do seem to be sticking, so that's good. So far, so good. I'd rather have a hard time getting them off of the backing than taking the transfer paper off, so I'll take it. I think the hard part of this was over, unless I just jinxed myself. We'll see. Just have one little end here sticking. Good. So I was originally going to put wax on this, but the more I thought about it, I don't know if I want to do the wax. I might clear over this just because the letters were kind of being a pain. I don't want them falling off for her. So I think I might just put a clear coat. I know it's kind of odd, but a clear coat of polyacrylic over this. That way it's all on there. It's not going to come off. It's coated the letters and everything. So the only thing about that is she might not be able to remove the letters later on. So I'll probably check with her. I'm not going to put any top, like, clear coat or anything on it in this video. Like originally I thought I was going to do the wax and then put the letters and stuff on, but I don't think the letters would have stuck to the wax. And I'm glad I didn't do that because I think I would have had more of a problem. So I am not going to do any clear coat on it today. I'm going to talk to her. She'll probably just want the polyacrylic on it, which will seal the letters as well. So do that. And that's just a clear coat that goes over it. And you can use it with any type of paint. I know wax is really, you know, made for the chalk paint, but when I'm putting letters and stuff on stuff, I want them to stick and I want them to stay. So I recommend polyacrylic or some type of heavy duty clear coat if you're making, especially if you're making something for somebody else. You know, yourself, you can kind of deal with it, you can kind of fix it. But I always, you know, when I'm making something for a customer, a friend, or a family member, I make sure it's sealed really well. So that way there's no problems. They're not coming back and saying, my sign fell apart, or it looks crappy, or whatever. Don't have any issues. All right. So I am struggling with this all of a sudden again. Oh my, this is not my friend today at all. There we go. Just don't want to tear any of the letters off because then I have to put them back on by hand, and that's just a pain. Nobody wants to do that. I've done it before and it's not fun. So I will go over this again and go cut all those little letters down each plank, okay, just to make sure that they're sticking and they're not kind of bumbled over all the little planks and divots. So I am going to do the same thing with that as I did with the antlers, okay. Really struggling with that T. The comma I might have to take back off and redo that one. Almost done, so close. And this is a longer video than it usually is, but it's worth it. The sign's gonna look awesome. So excited. So if you're thinking about making a huge sign like this one, this is a good video to watch. Kind of makes you think about, do I really need a sign that big, or should I make it a little bit smaller so I don't have to work as much? But it's fun though, and I can't wait to see the end result totally finished. It's going to look really pretty. Alright, so close. End of my K doesn't want to stick down there. There we go. And that's another thing with older wood. You might have vinyl. It's hard for it to stick to it. I got lucky with this one. It's actually sticking really well, but that is why I'm going to use a clear coat over it instead of wax. Most likely. Come on. There we go. And you could, I didn't even think about it until now, you could probably put a spray adhesive down first and then put your lettering on, but that you would have to, that can get really messy because then you have sticky on sticky, and that could just go wrong if you're not almost pinpoint with where you want it at first, because as soon as that hits the board, that's on there. So, you know, if you guys do want to do this and you're worried about it sticking and staying, you could use spray adhesive and then put the lettering on. But I would make sure you measure out everything and have it exactly where you need it when you lay it down on the board. That way there's no chance of anything coming off or creating a huge mess for yourself. Alright, last letter. Whew. And it's coming with the transfer paper. Alright. Geez, oh man, my S didn't want to stick to the transfer paper, now it doesn't want to stick to the board. There we go. Now we got it. Just holding and pulling. Alright. So, my explanation point didn't come off, and my comma. So I'm just going to go back and put those on. They were just on that transfer paper like crazy. So I'm just going to go back and put them on by hand, which is not hard. It's just two little things here. Just taking them off by hand and sticking them on here. Kind of just like a sticker. Perfect. And my comma as well. But as you see, that transfer paper is pretty used. I could probably do one more thing on it and then it would probably be garbage. So, alright. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go over all this. Make sure it is down. Okay, I don't want any little corners up. It looks like it's on there pretty good. Okay. I don't see anything crazy sticking up. So now I'm going to get my X-Acto knife again, and I'm going to go down each line here and just make sure all those are cut where they need to be cut. So I'm just going through and looking, seeing if there's anywhere. Some of these don't even need to be cut because they're kind of just right on the edge of it. Good. The U kind of needs cut. Perfect. Okay. And I'll come read your guys' comments here in a second. Alright. This one definitely needs cut. This is the biggest one I see that needs cut. Awesome. Woo. Dropping my squeegee. Alright. T. Some of the deer antlers kind of sticking up after I cut them, so I'm just cutting the little slices of white off that I see that I don't want to see through there. I'm just being picky, that's all. Okay, almost done, guys. Hang in there. And then I'll bring this sign up and answer your questions, okay? The only letter I see on here that I don't like how it turned out is the E here. So I'm just kind of moving it, cutting and moving it. And I'll show you guys here in a second. There we go. That looks better. Woo. Perfect. looks pretty good. Just doing my 8. Which that one's already pretty shaped to that. Good. Okay. And my T here. My T is going to be one of the hardest ones because this little gap here is a little bit bigger than all the other ones. As you can see, I can fit my squeegee into there. So it's just a little bit bigger. I think it still looks good though. I think we're good. All right. So I'll go back and be picky after the video. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me any longer. So I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to show you the finished project here, which is pretty awesome. Looks really nice, right? Thank you guys for hanging in there with me over this all, with the whole in and out video stuff and how long it took to do this. So that is the finished project. It looks really cool. I'm glad I did the white, kind of like just brushing, dusting of white on the back here of the middle. That way it kind of makes the black lettering stand out. It doesn't quite blend into this. And then it also still allows the antlers to stand out really well. So it looks really good. I'm glad. I'm happy with the way it turned out. I think it looks really cute. It's one of my first ones I've ever made with the chairs. So I was kind of nervous to go live with it. I was like, oh, hopefully I don't mess up, or hopefully it doesn't look crappy. And I still have quite a few of you guys viewing, so thank you for hanging in there with me. I really, really appreciate it. I know today's video was kind of crazy, but you guys hung in there with me, so thank you. Let me go ahead and catch up on some comments, because I know I have a whole bunch. Let's see. Oh, awesome. All right. Hi, Donna. Oh, April, thank you. Thank you, Denise. Awesome, Debbie, thanks. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks, Lynn. That's awesome. Oh, I got a whole bunch of you guys supporting. This is so great. Thank you so much. I'm not going to sit here and say thank you to every single name, but I will comment back to you guys, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I've gained so many viewers in the last couple days and weeks that it's awesome. It's such a blessing. So thank you guys so much for all the love and everything that you're giving me as far as viewing and just commenting and being part of this. This is awesome. So I am doing a video tomorrow. I'm doing the etched glass, which I'll get that and show you guys real quick. All right, I'm gonna lay this down so I don't break it. All right, so this is the etched glass that we're doing tomorrow, and this is a Cricut project. So if you have a Cricut, I'm going to teach you how to etch on glass, okay, using your Cricut. So that's exciting. You'll just need any old, you can use scrap paper or scrap vinyl or whatever. So if you have a couple pieces of scrap vinyl for your Cricut, this is what we'll be doing tomorrow, okay? So, and that's, I think, 10:30 tomorrow, pretty sure. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to go back and read all the comments on the 3 videos that it took today to do this project, and I will get back to everybody. So if you did have a question or anything, just, you know, keep your eye open for my response. And like I said, I am starting the emails. So if you guys go to my Facebook page, if you're interested in getting my weekly schedule and weekly supply list, just go on there and there's a link to subscribe to my emails. So I'm going to be just starting a weekly email. Now, once I get back to work, my weeks are not going to be as crazy video wise as they are now. So I kind of been a little bit spoiled with the videos where I can do as many as I want during the week, because right now I'm not working. But when I go full time again, I'll probably do like 2 to 3 videos a week. So it'll cut down a little bit longer, but at least you guys will still have a supply list and everything. So make sure to sign up for the emails if you want to. It's totally free, okay? Nothing that I do here is a charge. I don't make any money off of it. So so thank you guys for viewing. Go subscribe to that email if you would like to, okay? And tomorrow I will see most of you, I'm sure. All right, guys, thank you so much for viewing. Bye.